What if I told you that a gold-digging woman thought she had found the perfect target when she spotted a seemingly naive millionaire CEO at an exclusive restaurant? But what happened next will leave you absolutely speechless. This calculating woman had perfected her manipulation tactics over years, preying on wealthy men's loneliness, but she had no idea she was about to encounter Mr. Millionaire, the financial vigilante who tests people's hearts when they think nobody's watching. The way this story unfolds will shock you to your core because what she thought was an easy payday turned into the most humiliating lesson of her entire life. Stay with me, because you're about to witness one of the most satisfying takedowns in social justice history. Before we dive into this incredible story, grab your copy of The Secret of the Rich: 7 Steps to Financial Abundance from the first pinned comment or video description. This special guide will teach you to evolve spiritually while achieving your physical, mental, and financial goals. Hit that subscribe button right now and smash the like button so you never miss these incredible, real-life justice stories. Let me introduce you to our hero, Mr. Millionaire, a self-made business tycoon who uses his wealth as a weapon for social justice. This is the Batman of financial justice, a vigilante who tests the hearts of people in high society. After achieving massive financial success, Mr. Millionaire realized that money without purpose is meaningless. So he dedicated his life to helping deserving people financially while exposing those who prey on others. He lives by one unbreakable motto: true wealth lies in who you are when no one is watching. Our antagonist is Victoria Sterling, a 32-year-old woman who has turned gold digging into an art form. She's sophisticated, educated, and dangerously intelligent, having studied psychology specifically to manipulate wealthy men's emotions. Victoria has perfected a system over 8 years that has made her incredibly wealthy without ever holding a real job. But Victoria made one critical mistake that night at the Golden Palm, one of the city's most exclusive restaurants. She assumed the well-dressed man sitting alone was just another lonely rich guy. What she didn't realize was that Mr. Millionaire had been watching her for weeks, studying her patterns and preparing the perfect trap. Mr. Millionaire had disguised himself as David Chen, a recently divorced tech CEO. He wore an expensive suit and strategically placed indicators of wealth around his table: a limited edition watch, custom briefcase, and business calls that hinted at million-dollar deals. Victoria noticed him immediately. Her predatory instincts kicked in as she observed his body language, noting the slight sadness in his eyes. To her, he looked perfect: wealthy, emotionally vulnerable, and dining alone. She made her approach with master manipulation skills. Victoria accidentally bumped into his table, causing him to spill wine on his shirt. This gave her the perfect opportunity to start a conversation while appearing innocent. When Mr. Millionaire brushed off her concern and said the shirt was just something he picked up in Milan, she knew she had found her target. Don't miss out on The Secret of the Rich: 7 Steps to Financial Abundance in the description below. This guide contains the financial wisdom that separates the truly wealthy from pretenders. The conversation flowed naturally because Victoria was skilled at reading people. She steered the conversation toward business and current events, mentioning her fictional consulting firm and making insightful comments about market trends. Mr. Millionaire played his role flawlessly. He seemed genuinely interested in her opinions and mentioned how rare it was to meet someone who understood business. This was bait, and Victoria took it completely. She expressed sympathy for how difficult it must be to find genuine connections when you're successful, sharing fictional stories about her own struggles. The dinner continued for over 2 hours, with Victoria masterfully building rapport and trust. When the check arrived, Victoria made a show of reaching for her purse, but Mr. Millionaire insisted on paying. A genuine person might have insisted on splitting the bill. Instead, Victoria graciously accepted with just enough protest to seem polite. Victoria suggested they continue at a wine bar she knew, subtly testing his willingness to spend more money. At the wine bar, she ordered expensive champagne and began sharing more personal stories, creating artificial intimacy. But here's where Victoria made her crucial error. She started dropping hints about a financial opportunity requiring immediate investment. She mentioned a real estate deal closing soon and how her money was tied up. She wasn't directly asking for money yet, but planting seeds. Mr. Millionaire recognized these tactics immediately. This was the classic setup phase where manipulators create artificial urgency and position themselves as having money troubles. Victoria continued her performance, gradually escalating hints about needing financial assistance. She talked about trusting him and how they had a special connection, building the emotional foundation that would justify asking for money later. But Mr. Millionaire had heard enough. The time had come to reveal his true identity. Subscribe to MSR Millionaire and hit that notification bell so you never miss these powerful stories of justice. Give this video a thumbs up if you're ready to see how this master manipulator gets destroyed. Mr. Millionaire excused himself for a phone call, but instead spoke with the bar manager. Within minutes, the lights dimmed and soft music began playing. To Victoria, it seemed romantic, but it was actually Mr. Millionaire, setting the stage for his big reveal. When he returned, Mr. Millionaire's entire demeanor changed. The shy, vulnerable businessman disappeared, replaced by a confident, powerful presence that immediately put Victoria on alert. Mr. Millionaire looked directly into her eyes and said, "Victoria, I think it's time we had an honest conversation about who we really are." The use of her real name sent chills down her spine because she had introduced herself as Sophia. Her face went pale as she realized her cover was blown. She laughed nervously and claimed she didn't understand, but Mr. Millionaire was just getting started. He began reciting details about her life she had never shared. Her real age, actual background, names of previous victims, and specific amounts she had manipulated from other men. With each revelation, Victoria's facade cracked. Mr. Millionaire explained he wasn't David Chen. He was Mr. Millionaire, a social justice warrior who dedicated his life to exposing people exactly like her. He had been watching her for weeks, documenting her methods and gathering evidence. Victoria tried denying everything, but Mr. Millionaire had receipts. He showed her photos with previous victims, audio recordings of similar pitches, and bank records showing money transfers she had received through manipulation. He explained the psychological impact of her actions on victims. He told her about Robert, a recent widower who gave her $50,000 because he thought she genuinely cared, only to discover everything was a lie. Check the description for The Secret of the Rich, 7 Steps to Financial Abundance, to learn the real principles of wealth building instead of choosing deception. With each story, Victoria's guilt became heavier. She tried justifying her actions by claiming these men could afford to lose the money, but Mr. Millionaire shut that down immediately. Mr. Millionaire then delivered his signature lesson. "Victoria, true wealth lies in who you are when no one is watching. Tonight, I've seen exactly who you are, and it's not someone who deserves the abundance you've stolen from others." He continued, "You've spent years perfecting deception, but never invested time in becoming someone worth knowing. You're spiritually bankrupt, and no amount of stolen money can fix that poverty." Victoria broke down completely. Years of suppressed guilt came flooding out as she realized the full impact of her actions. She tried apologizing, but Mr. Millionaire wasn't interested in empty promises. Instead, he presented her with a choice. She could face criminal charges for fraud and theft, or accept his alternative justice program designed to teach genuine lessons about wealth and character. The alternative was community service, working with victims of financial fraud and making full restitution to every person she had manipulated. Victoria chose the alternative program. But Mr. Millionaire made clear this wasn't mercy. It was an opportunity to transform her life from deception into genuine contribution. Before they parted, Mr. Millionaire delivered his final message. "Victoria, true wealth lies in who you are when no one is watching, and now you have the opportunity to become someone worth being." 6 months later, Victoria had completed community service and made significant restitution progress. She started a legitimate consulting business and was rebuilding her life on honesty and genuine value creation. This transformation proved Mr. Millionaire's core belief that most people aren't inherently evil. They're just damaged and misguided. With the right intervention, even dedicated manipulators can learn to find fulfillment through legitimate means. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button for more incredible justice stories. Remember, true wealth lies in who you are when no one is watching, and we all have the power to choose who we become.